frankly, we need intelligent background checks, okay? This isn't a question of NRA, Republican, or Democrat. I think we can get something really good done. I think we can have some really meaningful background checks. We don't want people that are mentally ill, people that are sick. We don't want them having guns.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for saying that, because you know what? It needs to be said. You don't want people who are mentally ill having guns or access to guns. I mean, the funny thing about all this, not that there's anything funny about it because this is very serious, but I do imagine right about now the NRA is wishing President Obama was still in office, right? Because who would have thought that a conservative endorsed by the NRA would actually be out there looking at so many common sense measures and reforms? I'll tell you, this could be this president's Nixon in China moment. Joining me right now is someone who thinks it will help him politically to make this move is syndicated radio talk show host and Trump 2020 advisory board member, John Fredericks. Good to see you, John. Welcome.
Hey, Trish, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
So walk me through the politics of this moment right now, because the NRA, they got a big voice. They're pretty powerful, and they don't like the idea of anybody, you know, telling them anything on this one. But the president is saying, hey, we need a little common sense here. And by the way, he would also tell you, and I agree with this, it's a multi-pronged approach. It's mental health. It's social media. And part of it is, yeah, making it a little bit harder for a guy who's got a kill list to actually have a gun, right?
Trish, this president campaigned and won this election as the great disruptor in Washington to change things and work together and get things done. He's the only president in history on the Republican conservative side who can stand up to the NRA and the other bully gun lobbyists in America that are using 1990 talking points off their website for a 2020 problem. We have a major problem in this country with guns, and what President Trump has proposed, Trish, is common sense gun solutions. Very simple. 92% of Americans in the latest Rasmussen poll have said we have to do something on guns. It's outrageous what's happening. Trish, here's the bottom line.
The NRA would say, no, that's not true. Americans don't really want background checks. That's their talking point.
Of course they're saying it. Of course they're saying it because they're bullies and they push back. And so you have to be able to have the courage to stand up for them, because the alternative, Trish, here is Republican complete Armageddon in 2020 amongst Congress. There's a whole bunch of people that are going to lose. We're right now behind in suburban women. Yeah. Trish, here's reality. When you have moms in suburbs shopping for backpacks with bulletproof vests for fifth graders,
it breaks
you have
my
a
heart.
problem.
It breaks my heart. It really does. I have 3 little ones, and you know, we get the newspapers delivered to the house every morning, and my kids say, wait, what is the, you know, we try and shield them from this and from the, you know, TV with all the news, and not easy, you know, as a news reporter, but you try and save your kids from knowing about this stuff because you don't want them scared when they go to school. But this is my thought right now. I think that politically speaking, there's an opportunity to do something in a way that is the right thing to do for the country, is the right thing to do for society at this point in time, and yes, is the right thing to do if you're looking to bridge that gap right now with suburban moms who, like me, are trying to hide the newspapers from their kids. Does he have
Trish,
the ability to really, I mean, it means breaking some glass, John, you know?
You have to have the courage to stand up for what's right. What the president has proposed, Trish, is common sense solutions that have no impact on the infringement of Second Amendment rights. I'm for the Second Amendment. I know you are too.
I am.
We're both gun owners.
Oh, I'm not.
And we both believe in gun rights. I'm a gun owner.
You're alone on that one.
I believe in gun rights.
I believe in gun rights. And you know what? I absolutely believe in protection. But the NRA wants you to think that if you put in more in the way of background checks, or if you say, you know, maybe we ought to think about not having assault weapons out there, except at the shooting ranges, that somehow they infer as you taking away their Second Amendment. Is that a brainwashing that's happened in society that the Republican Party and conservatives, frankly, have allowed?
If you're going to win in 2020, you have to have common sense solutions to these problems. And this president has to be able to break the chokehold that the National Rifle Association and other state gun lobby organizations have on Republicans who are scared to death that they're going to get primaried. Here's my message to them tonight as a Trump conservative. Here's my message. There's going to be no primary because you're going to get beat in November of 2020. So you can forget the primary. You got to win in 2020. You have to go to the voters and you have to have the courage to say, I am not going to be beholden to some lobby stopping me from doing common sense legislation.
Common
Trish,
sense
there's no
stuff
argument
that everyone
to
supports,
close
more than 90% of the population.
Check loopholes.
Yeah, I hear you, John.
Exactly, 92%.
And it has nothing to do with your
Thank you
Second
for what you're
Amendment
doing, Liz.
rights. Look, I'm taking heat. You know, the NRA doesn't like me very much, but I'm with you. I think that, you know, at some point somebody has to stand up and say, this is the elephant in the room. And you know, we don't need to be beholden to lobbyists or to the gun industry that profits off this by exploiting people's fears. And I credit you for speaking out as well, John. Thank you so much. John Fredericks. Okay, tonight another Biden gaffe.